Something big is happening right now. This is big breaking news. We have over 1 million people right now that are under emergency travel restrictions. And this is due to poison being released into the air. This is what the federal government is warning right now, and they are putting out emergency warnings to say, stay inside, do not travel, do not get fuel, don't go to the gas station, don't go outside to mow your grass. This is the stuff that the federal government and state agencies cooperating with them, these are the warnings that they're putting out right now for over 1 million people, and it's due to this poisonous material, these poisonous chemicals being released into the air right now. And I keep pointing back here because you can kind of see it, okay? I woke up this morning feeling absolutely terrible. I was fine yesterday, and this morning I woke up extremely stuffy nose, blowing my nose, hacking the whole 9 yards, and I do not feel good. My wife doesn't feel good. And look at the air back here. There's supposed to be a mountain range back here. You can kind of see it, but the mountain range is blocked out by these toxic chemicals that are being released into the atmosphere right now. And this is what the government is admitting, and they're putting out emergency alerts for this. And the other side to it is these chemicals are released. Now your travel is restricted. Now your fuel consumption is restricted. They're literally saying don't fill up your gas until after 8 p.m. All right, I'll get into all the details here. This is happening right now in America for over 1 million people in multiple different cities, multiple different states, happening right now. All right, so something big is happening, and I'm telling you, I don't know what this is. I'll tell you what they're saying it is, but I don't know if that's all it is, because I am not feeling good. Everyone is feeling like crap today. All right, I don't know how any other way to put it, but I'm feeling like crap today. And I wasn't even gonna get this video out, but I'm like, this is important, this is urgent, and people need to know about this because they're breathing these chemicals in. All right, I don't even want to be out here in my car, but it's like, it's in my house too. I woke up, it's in my house, and it's this very faint smell. It's very faint. I can't even pinpoint it. Okay, and it almost smells like nothing. It doesn't smell like nothing. Okay, you know how normally it doesn't really smell like anything. All right, maybe it smells like cut grass or something like that. There's not really any smell. There's some kind of smell, and it's lingering, and it's very faint, and I've smelt it since this morning, since I came out. So something is going on. We are being hit left and right, 360 getting hit all the time. And it's just, how much more can we take? How many more of these incidents would happen normally? And now they're just happening constantly. How much more can we take? I'm considering, if this continues, I'm considering evacuating this area, leaving this area, because I'm telling you, I do not feel good. I feel terrible. But this is covering hundreds of square miles. It's hard to escape this right now. It's in multiple states right now. They're giving out these emergency warnings right now, these air warnings, and they're called action warnings. They're called air action warnings. That's what they're being called right now, because they want you to take action. They want you to follow these rules that they're saying. Here's one of them. I'm just going to read a couple of them. Avoid driving if possible. Refuel your vehicle after 8 p.m. These are real guidances being put out by the federal government and state governments in coordination right now. Refuel your vehicle after 8 p.m. Limit use of gasoline-powered yard equipment. Mow your lawn in the evening. Drive less, carpool, use public transportation, walk, use your bike. Avoid refueling vehicles and using lawn-powered equipment until the evening. Keep your engine tuned and don't let your engine idle if you were at a drive-through or a bank, okay? Turn off the lights in your house and set your thermostat above 75 degrees. This is happening right now. Over 1 million people are under these emergency suggestions, all right? It's not mandatory right now, it's voluntary right now. But this is just the start, and they will be mandatory right now. And the way they're gonna do it is they're gonna track and trace everything, and they already have they have armored cameras in the UK right now set up for these zones. All right, I'll get more into that in a few minutes, but they have armored cameras because people keep destroying these AI tracking cameras that are tracking where people are going, and it's taxing them and tolling them anytime they break the rules, anytime they go in the wrong place or they do the wrong thing. This is happening in the UK right now. It's taxing them, and some people are being taxed out of existence, and they feel like their only option is to destroy these cameras. So now they're coming back with armored cameras you can't destroy. People are throwing paint on them, but they can just wash it off, right? Can't destroy these armored cameras unless you really, something really happens to them, okay? So that's how they're gonna do it. People think like, oh, I'm fine out here. They're gonna do it. They're gonna have the surveillance grid on every corner, tracking and tracing what you're doing. That's how they're gonna know if you are leaving your house, if you are traveling, if you are filling up your gas after 8 p.m. That's what it's saying right now. This is insane. All right, so let's get into what's going on here. Let's get into these details. There are 3 different major cities and 3 different states right now under these emergency orders, and one of them, over 1 million people just in one state are under this right now, and I'm not that far. I'm really not that far from this. I'm not right on it, but I'm not far, and that's why you're seeing these dystopian clouds behind me. This is not smoke. This is something else. This is a carcinogen. From the EPA's own website, the government's own website, they admit this carcinogen is being released into the air, and this is not natural or normal, these circumstances. All right, so let's dive into the details here. We have active action air quality alerts being issued for ozone poisoning. Okay, there is a ozone toxicity happening right now. I'm not sure exactly why, but overnight they're saying this is ozone, which is extremely toxic and extremely carcinogenic for humans. It is not good for them to breathe, and it's been linked to different cancers, all this stuff. They're saying that there's an emergency ozone alert for over 1 million people right now, and there's 2 other states and cities that we're going to get to in just a second that are under these same emergency warnings. But right now, the biggest one, Denver, Colorado, Fort Collins, Boulder, this whole area going all the way up to Wyoming is under an emergency air action quality alert. Okay, that's what they're calling it. They're calling it an ozone action air quality alert, and the key word is action. These are action alerts. I've never even seen these before. They want you to take action and take alert. And right now in Denver, Colorado, they are telling people avoid driving if you have a gas or diesel vehicle. This is coming out of the National Weather Service as well. The National Weather Service is putting out these alerts for emergency ozone pollution just out of nowhere. This is just happening out of nowhere. This ozone just fell. And my wife even brought that up. She's like, it looks like the clouds are down here. It looks like the ozone's down here. And I started looking into it, and I'm like, what's going on? It's an emergency ozone alert, and they're telling people do not travel if you have a gas or diesel vehicle in Denver, Colorado. Right now, I'll show the documents here. This is coming out of the National Weather Service, and I'll highlight right here where it says do not drive gas and diesel vehicles. That's just coming out of Denver and the National Weather Service. We also have other states telling people don't mow your lawn, don't even fill up your gas tank until after 8 p.m. This is happening right now, and it's voluntary now, but it's going to be mandatory. It's going to be mandatory. Okay, those cameras in the UK, those are set up in quote low emission zones. Okay, there's a low emission zone around London, and anytime you enter this zone, if you don't have the correct vehicle, you are charged an insane fee. All right, anywhere from 10 to thousands of dollars. This is the fee range. There were stories of people going into this zone with their motorhomes, with their big RVs. Okay, I have a camper that I pull by my truck, but some people have like big motorhomes. Okay, and they were charged almost $1,000 to enter the zone and to drive around the zone, and they went in and out of the zone. They were charged multiple times, and they track it with these AI armored cameras. I'll show you a picture here. Armored cameras. This is how they're going to track and trace and know if you are leaving this area or if you're driving. All right, this is happening right now. We also have emergency alerts very similar to what's happening here in Indiana and Ohio. Okay, so we have Evansville, Indiana right now under this emergency ozone alert that was sent out by the National Weather Service. And we also have Miami County, Ohio under it, right outside of Dayton, Ohio. They are also under these emergency alerts. And this is coming out of the Indiana and Ohio government. They're even more extreme than Colorado. This is what they're saying. Drive less, carpool, use public transportation, walk, bike, or work from home when possible. Combine errands. Avoid refueling or using gas-powered lawn equipment until 7 p.m. This is crazy. This is crazy. Keep your engine tuned and don't let your engine idle, such as at banks or at a restaurant drive-thru. Conserve energy by turning off lights and setting the thermostat to 75 degrees. Okay? Also, we have news coming out here. That was from Indiana. That's the Indiana government telling you that. This is what the Ohio government is saying. Right outside of Dayton, Miami County and parts of Dayton are under this emergency ozone alert. You can see here, avoid driving if possible. Refuel your vehicle after 8 p.m. if possible, or wait until after the air quality alert expires. So just don't even get gas at all until we tell you you can. All right, and this is from the air quality alert, and they're calling this air action alerts, or air quality action alerts, because they want you to take action, and it's voluntary now, but it's gonna be mandatory very soon. Limit use of gasoline powered yard equipment such as lawnmowers, chainsaws, power trimmers, and shredders. Operating gas powered lawn equipment for 1 hour produces the same amount of pollution as driving a car. Try using non-motorized or battery powered equipment. I'm telling you, they're gonna say try soon, and then it's going to be you have to. You are not allowed to use anything else. Mow your lawn in the evening when the sunlight is not as strong and smog is less likely to form. This is happening right now, all right? I warned you guys that Biden came out and said, we're working on this climate emergency to lock everything down to prevent you from traveling. They were talking about preventing interstate travel as well, because that's like a federal government issue there. And they're talking about banning non-essential air travel. Okay, so you can't fly domestically. You cannot fly to a different state. All right, you cannot go visit your family across the country. That's what they're saying. And they're also warning of tracking you when you drive across state lines too. Okay, that's going to be big because they're working on this mileage tax where every mile you drive in your car, you will be taxed, and it will be related to all this stuff as well. And one of the only ways they can do that, track and trace everything you're doing. All right, so this is coming. We are living in the future, guys. We're just not getting the Jetsons. We're not getting the flying cars and George Jetson over here and living in a space house. All right, we're not getting that anymore. We are going to get the dystopian version. Going to get all the dystopian technology that you've never even thought of. There's going to be stuff that we've never even thought of, we've never even imagined, that's going to be invented and is going to be unleashed on to the public. Okay, and even things like this ozone poisoning that they're saying. Okay, ozone naturally occurs in the stratosphere and near the ionosphere, and it forms from interacting with the sun, UV radiation, the ionosphere. Okay, and it splits the oxygen, the O2 molecules, into pure oxygen, and it forms O3, which is actually very toxic for you. All right, it's actually not good for you. And even that simple chemical reaction can be manipulated. What if they use these ionosphere heaters, these radio frequency wave towers, things like HARP? Okay, it's literally listed as the most powerful ionosphere heater on planet Earth. I'll put the article here, Physics Today, HARP, the most powerful ionosphere heater on Earth. What if they were able to manipulate the stratosphere and the ionosphere and bring it down here, essentially bring it down here and start ionizing the oxygen molecules down here and start splitting them down here in our atmosphere? Instead of way up high in the stratosphere, they bring that ionization technique and they implement it at ground level. So they're splitting the oxygen molecules and they are forcing it to create ozone in unnatural places down here and essentially poison us. So I'm not even saying that's what happened, but we live in this dystopian future where everything's a possibility. Almost everything your mind can imagine, there is some form of that is actually real, and they're working on it, okay? And this stuff's suspicious because I'll tell you right now, I am north of Denver, all right? I'm way north of Denver where this ozone emergency is being declared, okay? There is no big city within 200 miles of me, okay? I'm far away from it, and the wind is blowing south. The wind's blowing south into Denver right now, but somehow the excuse is that this ozone it's just so bad in Denver and Fort Collins and Boulder that it's creeping all the way up here further north. That's what they are telling us right now, and that's why they're telling us it looks like this, but the wind is blowing. Denver's this way and the wind's blowing this way, so it doesn't make sense. The wind should be blowing this way, blowing it north into me. Denver's that way and it's blowing it that way as well. So if anything, the smog and the ozone should go south, right? And it's going north for some reason right now, So somebody explain this to me. Is this intentional? And if it's not, they're still going to use it to implement these lockdowns, right? These climate lockdowns are coming. They're coming very soon. And I just have a feeling that 2024, they're going to implement them, right? There's going to be something big that happens, and the federal government's going to come out and clamp down and say, look, we have to do this, all right? We have to do this right now. That's going to be their rhetoric, okay? So let me know what you guys think about all of this. Please hit it up for me down below. Let me know too. Give me your intel. Give me your on-the-ground intel. Let other people know in the comments, are you seeing this stuff? Does your sky look like this? And are you under these emergency suggestions right now? There's suggestions right now, but they will be mandatory, and these are being put up by the federal government. The National Weather Service is issuing these alerts, which is a federal government agency, and working with these state agencies as well. All right, so please hit it up for me down there. I really appreciate that. People need to know, and people need to say no to this. Don't just stay inside. Don't just go fuel up your gas. Do whatever you want. Live your life however you want, right? You shouldn't have to be, your movement shouldn't be restricted like an animal. You're not chattel. You are a free human being, and it's time we start acting like it, all right? So say no to this stuff. Do not comply to these quasi-lockdowns that they're implementing. And it's conditioning. They're going to keep doing it, and then it's going to be mandatory one time, and then it's going to go nationwide, all right? So get prepared now. Please get stocked up now too, because when things like this happen, it's going to affect the supply chain as well. It's going to affect trucks. It's going to affect shipping, supply lines. Okay, all these things are going to be hit. They're going to go after all of it, and we could see shortages as well. All right, we're already seeing don't buy gas after 8 p.m. This is saying, you know what? Maybe just wait to buy gas until the alert is completely over. And it could be mandatory. We could be mandatory situations like you can't buy gas for the next 3 days until this clears out. Sorry, buddy. So keep your tanks filled. Keep your water tanks. Keep your gas tanks. I got a bunch of gas cans I use for my generator. I have a 200-gallon water tank that I live off in my RV. I live off-grid with my family in my RV. And I have my truck tank as well. And I have my propane tanks on my RV. And I need to top them off. All right? A lot of them are fluctuating. They're always going up and down. This is my warning to myself to go top it off. Get your tanks filled, because energy is key, and energy is going to be extremely valuable in the future. All forms of energy, gas, natural gas, water, everything's going to be, even food is just converted energy, all right, that you can eat. It's just another form of energy that's been converted into food so you can eat it. All right, all this stuff's energy. Get stocked up now. Please hit it up for me down there, and I hope you guys have a big old blessed day.